Hi, I'm Natalia. I used to make YouTube videos here, and I thought I would try making one again. I'm a very different person than I was 4 years ago, and I thought it might be nice to answer some questions from you guys. These were submitted through Instagram. You can follow me at Iron Natalia if I do this ever again in the future. And I'm just gonna get into it. Okay, first question. What's the day-to-day like directing and storyboarding at your animation job? So I work at a place called Make currently. It is an advertising studio in Minneapolis, which is not too far from where I was born and raised. I love Minnesota. I love Minnesotan animation. In fact, that's actually why I've now become the president of a nonprofit called Nice Moves. We are an organization just made out of volunteers that is dedicated to growing the local industry, connecting people with each other. We put on talks, we put on events, and my not-so-secret goal is to help indie animation flourish in the Midwest, because I think we all know that we don't all want to move to LA to tell stories and do what we do. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of really amazing storytellers and artists right here that have amazing, cool, weird ideas that they want to make. And if we know each other a bit better, and if we band together, then we can probably make some of that stuff. My day job from 9 to 6 is a lot of different things. I write scripts, I storyboard, I sometimes do concept art and design, I'm sometimes doing 2D animation and doing cleanup. I'm sometimes doing more producery things. Basically, that's the joy of working in a small studio. We're about 35 to 40 people. But what I really like about it is that I don't have to do the same thing every day. And also, I get trusted to take on things way above my skill level, way above my pay grade. And if I succeed, then that gets to be a part of my job moving forward. Some of the recent work that I've done that came out was that I was the lead writer and storyboard artist on a music video for Siames called Alone in the Darkness. That was about a 3-month pre-production project on my end before our amazing 2D animation team made the damn thing and made it look really good. I've been working on some things for Lightbox with my company, and that'll come out soon as part of their promotional materials. I have done concepting and storyboarding for a lot of different commercials that we've done. But the main thing that has been my baby for the 2 years that I've been working full-time at Make since graduating from school is called Sunny Side Down. Insert teasery clips here. It's about a little diner hanging in front of a black hole, and they're 2-minute shorts, and there's 6 of them, and there is a human waitress who hates her life and is trying desperately to escape, and there is her old grumpy mentor cook lady Yaba, who is tired of everyone's shit and would really like to retire, but she doesn't really have that option. People are hungry, people need serving. And each episode focuses on a new sci-fi parody based off of what poor alien schmuck has gotten sucked into the black hole this time. And I hope you like it when it comes out. I am really proud of how it's been turning out. I am the director on the project, so if it's bad, you know, you can pretty much blame me. Obviously my boss, who I work for at Make, he gets a lot of input on how the projects turn out as well. But it's something that I've kind of gotten to take a lot of ownership over, and I'm also really grateful for the opportunity to get to be directing something since I was 22. I'm 24 now, and so that's what I do. What does that look like on a day-to-day basis? That can look like a lot of things. Currently, we're in the stage of doing a lot of VO recording, meaning working with voice actors to actually get the script lines recorded. And once it's recorded, I'm going into our original animatics and retiming things, because sometimes a voice actor gives a really fucking killing performance, and then you're like, damn, I have to go back into this animatic and find an extra 2 seconds to add this line in because that was really funny. So that's what I've been doing a lot. I am overwhelmed with how fucking fun it is to work with actors and to see what they bring to a character I thought of in my head, you know, 2 years ago and didn't know what they would necessarily sound like or act like. And when I'm picking voice actors, I might be listening to like over 100 auditions. And there's something so special about when you're listening to somebody and their voice just clicks into place. Like, oh, that just sounds like them, like who that character is. It doesn't really sound like the person's acting to me. That's when I'm like, yep, that's the cast. And then when I actually get to work with them and encourage the improv and get that back and forth of learning to control less, step back, and let people give their first intuition of a performance, that has been one of the most rewarding things that I've learned from directing Sunny Side Down. The same goes for all the other parts of the process. Like, I get to work with my coworkers who are way better background designers than me, way better animators than me. And I think maybe for some people, that would be a little bit insecure to feel like the people around you are so much better at what they do than you are. But for me, again, it's just been the greatest gift to give someone a description of what the story is asking for, what I hope for it to be, and for someone to come back with beautiful, amazing options that I couldn't have done. That's what makes me love working in animation, because I don't want everything that I make to be exactly how I imagined it, and I don't want everything I make to be limited by my own skill set. I used to be really obsessed with becoming the best artist I could possibly be. To be fair, I didn't really have a lot going on in my suburban life. And so it was maybe easier to hyper-focus on that feeling of reaching the pinnacle. And now I'm not really that worried about being the best, because I love that I can work with people that are the best at what they do. I think it's funny that this is my first video back, and I've already managed to spend 20 minutes answering the first question. So I think that bodes really well for the length of the rest of this video and how much editing I'm gonna have to do. All right, next question. What was something that helped with carpal tunnel asking for a friend? So I got diagnosed with carpal tunnel in 2021. It really messed up my life. I was really, really fucking stressed about it, which makes sense because being an artist full-time was my career goal. And this seemed like it threatened that, because I couldn't draw at all. I couldn't draw for 4 months. I had to go into heavy physical therapy rehab mode where I did everything with my left hand instead of my right for a while. I actually still use voice to text while texting, which I think weirds out my friends all the time because it puts in a lot of periods and sometimes it replaces words in stupid ways. But it is still something I do to protect my wrist. And I still do a lot of the stretches that I learned from physical therapy. I am hesitant to demonstrate all of them to you on camera right now because you really kind of need a professional, in my opinion, to show how to do things with your hand and your body. But a lot of them kind of boil down to these things called active tendon glides, which are ways to move the inflamed fibers through your carpal tunnel and loosen up some of the inflamed gunk that's in there, and that's making your wrist hurt. But basically, you have to do those stretches every day. You have to take breaks when you're drawing. And I also really appreciate, again, the diversity of tasks that I do at Make, because it means I'm not just always drawing when I'm getting to write or walk around and give people feedback and do more directing, talking things. All of that is a risk break for me. So I haven't struggled with carpal tunnel pain really in the last 2 years. And I, knock on wood, hope that keeps continuing. So that's what I recommend. Oh, and then the final tip that I would say that pretty much every artist needs to hear is everyone was right about working out. It turns out that it protects your body in every way imaginable. And your mom was right, and it's super annoying. But turns out you kind of have to be a bit of a jock to be an artist. And I think nobody tells you that, because the stereotype is to be an artist, you should just draw as much as you can all the time, or whatever it is your art. But you really should work out, because me running regularly and doing exercise regularly, I think also really keeps my carpal tunnel under control, because what that blood flow does is it pumps a lot of blood through these very tender, overworked areas, and it's kind of just like hosing you out and giving you a fresh start every day. So try to move your body if you can. Sorry to sound like your doting parent, but I am your doting parent. I want the best for you. And that includes moving your body. So do that. All right. Pulling up the next question. What would you like to see in an animated short that you haven't seen yet? Haven't seen yet is a tough question, right? Because I just haven't seen a lot of them. So I'm sure that there's stuff I haven't seen that already exists. And then it would be embarrassing if I said, I wish I could see that, and then it's already out there. But maybe that's exactly what I should say so that you guys can link me to it. But I think mainly the specific flavor of what I would like to see is there's still something about how tactile and scratchy and textured a lot of the Soviet cartoons that I grew up with were. I'm always talking about the Russian Winnie Pooh. And for good reason. I just love the aesthetic of it. I would love to see more children's cartoons here with that aesthetic. And I think that people are doing a lot of really interesting things with blending those textures with 3D space now. I love that we're in the renaissance of 2D, 3D crossovers, and we're moving away from hyper sterile, hyper polished work to things that feel human and feel a little messed up in a good way. That's what I'd like to keep leaning into. This is a really tough question. It's tough because I want to say something like, I want to see an answer for the way I can live. I want to see something that makes me feel comforted in all the things that I find painful. But the thing is I'm actually seeing that all the time. I'm seeing a lot of shorts that do that. And that's what makes me love animation. And I can always do a video on the shorts I would recommend you check out that touch that part of me. So what do you turn to for inspiration when you don't know what to draw or animate? So the first thing that I do is I sketchbook a lot. And I wish I sketchbooked more. Ever since I started working full time, I would say my sketchbooking went off a cliff. And that's something that I'm going to work on. But something about going outside, going to a cafe, going to a park, drawing the world around me, it always inspires me because that's why I got into drawing and animating in the first place. It's because I think the world is beautiful. And making art is how I transmute that feeling of beauty into an experience that I keep with myself. I don't know if I necessarily even keep it with myself, but you can't help it, right? You see things that are beautiful and you want to try and transcribe some of that beauty. And so that's why I think a sketchbook is a good way to jumpstart that process. And then later, when I don't know what to draw or what to animate, I can go back to my sketchbook, and usually there's designs or ideas that I didn't get to finish in there. Feelings just well up inside of you. There's a comic I want to make when I think about how much I love my current partner. And I want to tell the story of that. And there's certain visual metaphors and moments that come up into my mind, and I think that would make a good comic. I think people could relate to that. Oh, my butt is starting to lose feeling recording this. Oh, gotta readjust. Okay, got some fresh butt juice in me. Maybe I have one last question left in me. How are you? I am, all things considered, good. I am very, very different, obviously, from 4 years ago. And it's really weird to even be recording this right now. I got diagnosed with a chronic condition called POTS in 2021, and that rocked my world. I've gone through ups and downs on my mental health. I have lost people, I've met new people, but I'm currently really, really happy with a lot of the things that I've got. I have a partner I really love. I'm currently in this new apartment that I'm really enjoying. I get to live in a neighborhood where I walk to a coffee shop and say hi to people and sketch and get a little decaf latte and appreciate the taste of a croissant. And I'm glad that, you know, even with the small salary of an artist, I can allow myself these things and they make life bright and happy. And I'm happy to see my houseplants thrive and grow bigger as I take care of them year after year. In today's world with AI, and a lot of the developments around more content everywhere at all times, it kind of feels more important than ever to show the person that makes the things. And it's something that I have feared and I have resented because I really absorbed that message from Bo Burnham in all of his specials, which basically boils down to, if you're an artist, try to hide from an audience as much as possible. Don't put yourself on stage unless absolutely needed, because it kind of like fucks with you a little bit. The whole point of me making art is because the art can say things that I can't say with my mouth. And I don't want what I'm saying with my mouth right now to ever become more important than what the art is saying. You get what I mean? But at the same time, I just have been softening on that feeling of hiding away the person, because especially with AI making stuff now, I want people to know that there is a person that is making this stuff. I'm a person who wants a little coffee and needs a paycheck and enriches my neighborhood and participates in the world and loves people and wants a family. And these are all things that maybe people don't know unless there's people putting themselves on camera to talk about it these days. And is that depressing? Yes. Is this something I'm maybe interested in exploring? Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't actually know who will watch it because I have no idea if the algorithm has put me in my grave of being dead and gone. We'll see if I make another one of these. Turns out that when you have a full-time job, it's really hard to do anything else. Who knew? It was nice to try this again. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. And if you have questions that weren't answered, you can put them down below. I might answer them in text form, or I might make another video. If there were things you were interested in hearing about from me in terms of future videos, I'm also more than happy to listen to your suggestions. I hope you all guys have been well, and I hope you guys have made a bunch of cool art since the last time I was here. So, bye.